Sound of Freedom has made $150 million. And that's just in the United States. It hasn't been released in all the theaters. It's only been released in, well, a couple of thousand, but that many. It's made $150 million. Just for box office ratings in the United States alone, that is amazing. A lot of people in the media saying, "Oh, it's not making that much money now. It's just $150 million." And for anyone that's looking at the box office numbers, you would think to yourself, "Yeah, $150 million. Not that much in the movie industry." Actually, yes, it is. If you look at the highest grossing movies of all time, especially their box office records, especially big films like Avatar with $2.4 billion dollars, or the Avengers, the first Avengers making $1.5 billion dollars. You guys got to understand is that the $1 billion mark was made worldwide, internationally, whereas a small amount of money that the movie made was made in the United States. Still a little bit higher than Sound of Freedom, but a lot of those big budget movies that have been released worldwide, look at their United States numbers, and Sound of Freedom is way up there. Way up there in making money. Yeah. I mean, if you see the media right now, they're talking about big budget films like Barbie, Oppenheimer, or Indiana Jones, Mission Impossible. Those movies have already had a worldwide release. So if you see their box office numbers, just remember that not all of that was made in the United States. It was made all the way around the world. So in other words, they can cheer, they can talk about, they can praise all they want, but in the end, once when Angel Studio releases it worldwide, it's going to be a very big different talking point because Sound of Freedom is just not going away. I mean, I just looked up the box office numbers. Sound of Freedom is at number 4, was at 5th place, and now it's in 4th place. It's still there. It's still going strong. It's only been a month. Usually around this time, this is when people start forgetting about movies. But no. If you look at their percentage numbers, it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up a couple times, down a couple times. It's still here. It's still making money. At this point, it's not even a challenge for them anymore. They're just sitting down, and they're just making money week by week. But they are determined to continue pushing the story out there because it is definitely a must-see. I'm sorry, guys. I know I keep talking about Sound of Freedom. This is probably my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, how many reviews that I have done of Sound of Freedom. But this movie is so powerful and so gripping that it's hard for me not to talk about how great this movie is. It's difficult and sometimes a little bit scary to watch, but it was still a must watch. I think the thing that makes me keep on talking about it is the media. The fact that the media is talking down this film and calling it a conspiracy theory or QAnon or blah blah blah, whatever they want to call it. I just read an article from USA Today last night, not even sure why I even picked that article, but even they threw a jab at Sound of Freedom saying, oh, they took some creative differences, they rewrote a couple of things, and they made it look worse than it actually is. As a matter of fact, only 10% of them suffer through quote-unquote trafficking because YouTube won't let me say the S word. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, okay, of all the arguments, of all the stuff to try and cool down the whole situation, that wasn't it. Whoever wrote that article needs to be fired because that does not make anyone feel better. As a matter of fact, that just makes people mistrust the media 2 times over. I mean, they're the ones that kept talking about how bad the slave trade was from Africa all the way to America. This is basically the same thing. People taken away against their will and put into these very uncomfortable situations. You can't have you can't have both sides. You just can't. Basically, people are being taken away against their will, especially women and children. Mostly women and children when it comes to these trafficking rings. You think they wanted to go? No, they did not want to go. They're in terrible situations. So who are you to say that only 10% are being mistreated and they don't like it there, and only 90% are okay with their living situation? Who talks like that? But anyway, I'm getting on a little bit of a rant here, but I kind of have to because that article kept me up for hours. I mean, geez. And And I want to give a quick shout out to Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, and Jim Caviezel. Jim Caviezel has really made a name for himself. Have you noticed? I mean, I haven't really heard of the guy since The Passion of the Christ. Not exactly my favorite Mel Gibson movie. Maybe I'll do a review of it. Comment down below if you want me to review Passion of the Christ. But anyway, I want to give a shout out to Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, for putting this movie out there and exposing a whole lot of this side of Hollywood, because someone had to. I love the fact that they do this what looks to be their own free will. And just to point this out, guys, if you think I keep talking about Sound of Freedom simply because I'm being funded, or that I'm making money off my videos, no, I'm not making anything. I'm more broke than usual. I'm doing this because I feel like it is the right thing to do. I feel like this movie needs to be seen, and it's going to be seen. And if the studios and the media and Hollywood itself think the movie's just gonna go away after it's been released from theaters and on DVD, it's not gonna go away, because a lot of independent filmmakers are gonna say to themselves, "Wow, this movie did not cost a lot of money, and yet it made a ton of money. We're gonna start making our own films." Truth be told, I think it's just the beginning of the end for both Hollywood and the media. But anyway, those are my thoughts, guys. I love the fact that Sound of Freedom has made so much money. Continue on with the fight. Go see Sound of Freedom. You will not be disappointed. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Whatever you thought, comment down below. Also, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you in the next video.